This one strategy turned my online six-figure business into a seven-figure business. What's up everybody, it's Adrian Brambila here, and you're watching one video in a series of 30 on how to make money online for beginners. Today's lesson is so important. Actually, I feel like it's a secret of the internet. I didn't really understand it for so many years, and I thought I was at the top. I thought I was doing all right. And then this strategy came along when I first learned it, and it made me feel like, wow, I really don't know anything despite doing the online thing for 5 years. It's not that this strategy is complicated or hard. It's just one of those things that if you don't know, you don't know. The first person I ever met that made 7 figures a year was this dude named Ketsu. He was a dancer like I was, and he had found his superpower of drop shipping, and he made a fortune. Still makes a fortune. I remember when I was first hanging out with him, his phone was always going ka-ching, 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 and I was like, what's going on? It's because he was spending thousands of dollars in ads, and he was selling stuff. And at this time, I was only doing my dance business, which was making around $5,000 a month. Again, I thought, yeah, I'm crushing it. And then I meet this guy, and I'm like, what? I have no idea what I'm doing. When I met Ketsu, he basically introduced me to this world of people, a very rare, select few group of people around the world who have also discovered this strategy, have implemented it, and have made 7 figures or more. It's literally the backbone of their business. I feel like I'm describing some type of secret society, and it kind of is in a way. But it's really more of this knowledge that you just is not common. You're not going to find this on the streets. It's hard to see. You may have other friends that are doing, have a business or have an online side hustle, but to find this strategy, I feel was like gold as soon as I heard it. And when I started implementing, I finally understood. It all started to make sense. This is how you do it. This is how you take a side hustle to a main hustle. This is how you take a small business into a large business. This is how you take a 6-figure business into a 7-figure business. And so the lesson you're about to watch is from one of my advanced courses on my website, adrianbrambila.com. As part of me trying to give as much value as I can in this free 30-day course, you're gonna get it absolutely complimentary free in just a little bit. Before we get into that, I wanna tell you, with great power comes great responsibility. Just because you have this secret, and it is definitely a game changer, it doesn't mean you're gonna start instantly making 7 figures. If you learn this strategy, it's gonna be everything for you. It's gonna be the thing that you can catapult your business with, but don't get caught up in this immediate gratification, right? Trying to launch something and then 30 days be like, I didn't make $1 million, I'm done. And so I just wanna warn you that once you know this strategy, you pretty much have mastered the biggest strategy of success on how to create an online business. Now, you still gotta learn how to get traffic, you still gotta have an offer, and more than anything, you still have to do the work. So with all that said, I bring you the most valuable lesson on how to create an online business. In this video, we're gonna learn about the amazing concept that's gonna take your side hustle even journey to $1 million brand. I kid you not. And it starts with a simple illustration that looks like this. Whoop. Looks like steps, right? This system is called the value ladder. And it is a game changer for your brand, your business. These are things you start thinking. You're not just an influencer. Sometimes people laugh at influencer, right? You're a brand, a personal brand, or maybe your audience you're building doesn't have your face on it. Maybe you're talking about a subject behind the scenes. Regardless, your business, your brand should operate on a value ladder system. And essentially, it works like this. I'm gonna give my specific example with my personal brand, and then I'm gonna give just wild ideas because I know I have a bunch of influencers or aspiring influencers taking this course that are in every single niche, okay? But I wanna be relative. So the value ladder concept basically works like this. If your customer or your fan makes it to the very first entry point of a business. This is where most businesses basically, I'd say most businesses and online websites are pretty bad at marketing and behind the scenes of business. So this literally from here on out, except for this first step, this is the only thing they're pushing is whatever this first offer is. The first offer could be a shirt, a necklace, a tutorial, a paid something. If you're promoting a watch as an affiliate, the very first offer. Click here, buy now. I like watching your videos so much. I want to pay for your Patreon account, whatever it is. It's that first step. And then literally all this other steps that I'm about to get into, most businesses don't have. And so they're leaving, you can tell this is like, if this was a representation of dollar signs, which it is, basically this is just the bottom starting point that 99% of businesses only focus on this and they don't even think about the value ladder system. But essentially it works like this in terms of value. What's the minimum entry point of value that you can basically give to someone that's a starting point of getting them hooked to your brand? And this is in terms of monetization, to be clear. This is someone who, everyone I'm referring to even get to this point, of course, they need to already be watching your content, reading your blogs, checking you out on Instagram or TikTok or whatever platform that you are hot on or want to grow on. So that's already assumed. This is now, okay, how do I take someone from a viewer, from a subscriber, from someone who daily is consuming my content, to then from a fan to now someone who is a consumer or a real customer, right? The gap from viewer to customer. And so where this begins is, what's that first thing that you can offer to someone that costs money, but it's worth the value? And you need something that's, in the marketing world, we call it a low ticket item. Now, depending on what your business is, it could be a range of different things, right? I'm going to give my specific example. I literally have a mini course on adrianbrambila.com that's basically teaches the foundations of money. And I literally charge $1. That's it, literally $1, and I'm gonna get someone indoctrinated to get all the way to the top. Stay with me, because this is like so exciting. This is like, it's like the $1 million concept of your brand is being formed right now in your head. But for me, it's $1. That's that little transaction, that $1 minus transaction fees, it's really like 70 cents for me. It's so much more than that. This $1 for me represents potentially thousands of dollars from one person over the lifespan of a couple of years or even a couple months. So this $1, it doesn't matter what your first ticket price point is. It could be $100. Maybe you have something really awesome to offer as you're beginning. But $1, $10, $20, and it could be something you make or something else that you promote or something you sell, right? But the whole point is it has to be some type of transaction, because the level of trust from watching to taking out your wallet and buying is like here to here. They trust you enough to basically do the most riskiest action of all, which is taking out their credit card online, putting the numbers in and saying, I'd like to try whatever you are selling. That is the level of trust you want to get to with at least 1,000 people, right? 1,000 true fans, 1,000 people willing to buy whatever you have to sell. $1, that's my price point. So when someone takes, after this low ticket offer, this is where people stop thinking, because most people are like, I'm doing this, my one ticket offer so well. Again, it could be $1, it could be $10, it could be $20. I'm going to put my specific ones underneath, and I'm going to put just a rough example up top. So $10 could be a shirt you're selling. And then where businesses forget, they don't focus on any more of the value ladder system. They just say, awesome, we're selling shirts. Let's sell as many more shirts as we can. Let's just keep getting new fans, keep getting new fans. And as sexy and cool that is getting all these new followers and trying to get new customers, This part is actually the hardest part. It's so hard to get the first sale in. It's actually way harder than it is to get someone all the way here. Once they're in the system, this is easy to get them up. It's easy. To get them that first step of risk and taking out their credit card, that is the hardest thing to do online. The hardest. But you've done it. Okay, so I want you to think, so whether it's a shirt, a tutorial, a product you've made, whatever it is, that item, the first item, the question you have to ask about, what is the very first entry point where someone would pay me for something? That's the question that you have to ask yourself and write that note down to think, how can you answer that? Are you a gym? Are you a fitness person? Are you a gamer and you can recommend or create a tutorial or talk about whatever in gaming's on a premium level? Are you a dancer? Can you create a tutorial? Do you make stuff? Can you make a freebie item where maybe they just pay you for shipping and you can send the product for you, whatever it is. And then the next thing I want you to do, and we're gonna play a simple game here. I want you to basically times 10 the product amount. So right here, your next item, the next value system is basically $100. So let's say we started at 10 in the first entry point. They've taken that action of trust. Now it's $100. For me, this actually works pretty much exactly what I'm doing. So what happens is, there's some screaming dogs. One second. So for me, in my business, what happens when someone takes my money course, they're learning about money and the foundations, and one thing that you eventually get to is after you've saved, you've cleared debt, and you really want to diversify and build a new revenue stream, I have a course that basically can teach you how to build a awesome side hustle or multiple side hustles. So that course is $97. So what happens is they get in for $1, they watch my content, and if they like my content, if they think I'm a good teacher, then they're going to trust my recommendation of like, well, now you know about money, it's time for you to get my beginner level side hustle course, which is $97. And that's exactly what happens. People, after they finish my mini course, they want more and they're like, I'm so jazzed up, I'm excited, I'm gonna take action, and I saw your side hustle course, I'm definitely gonna snag it. It's easier to make this sale, I kid you not, it's easier to make the $97 sale to that person than it is at the beginning to make the dollar sale. Because right here, this is the biggest risk. I'm a stranger. After they've consumed my content, got the product, and they like it, now they've become from just a watcher to a true fan. And when they make that next step to $97, they're gonna get a world of value. This is gonna be the best $97 they've ever spent because they're gonna learn so much about the next step of in my journey, and their journey too. So for you, this is what you have to think about. So if you're selling a low ticket item, which the whole point is not really even to make a profit. At the low ticket stage, don't care about profit at all. Care about new customers. Transforming viewers to customers. That's your main concern. Now, in the second tier, profit, I mean, you should be making a profit definitely at this second tier, right? So there is some profit. $100, it's good. It's not amazing, but it's good. So what you need to ask, it's very simple. What could you create or sell that is worth $100 for your brand, your personal brand, or the brand that you're blowing up? What's worth $100? Just some ideas. Is it a mini course like mine? Is it a bundle of product recommendations that some ebook or guide? Is it a different way that like different premium videos that only people who pay this can see? Is it a group coaching? Maybe you can get some of your fans together who are trying to learn and improve in some area, or just want more. They just want to talk to you one-on-one, live. Like, does that cost $100 where you can get 30 people can sign up and you're doing a Zoom? Just throwing stuff out there. I've literally tried all these, by the way. And, so that's what you have to answer. What's worth $100? I'll tell you right now, like, $100 for you to, do something that, like, to sell a really crappy, I'm just going to say toilet paper right now because coronavirus and toilet paper, everyone's like running out. If you sold a toilet paper for $100 as your brand, people would be like, that's a ripoff. I would never do that, right? So the question again, what could you create that's worth in value $100 or more? That someone says $100, here, take my money. That's what you have to think about. For me, my course, I teach 10 different side hustles, not just one, 10 different side hustles in a very intro level beginner course. So for someone's like, dude, there's people selling like $1,000 courses just to teach one thing. I'm going to learn all 10. Overwhelm them with value, and it's amazing. It's awesome. Okay, so think about that. That's a very, very important one to figure out. And then here's where things get crazy. Now, every single step, businesses forget to do this. My next offer is now at $497. And that is where I take someone from, I'll call this a beginner, to advanced. And so I have multiple advanced courses from the 10 side hustle courses that I teach in here. So to make that leap, now that's some serious dough. Someone's going to invest $500 to get more of my content. And I did this, by the way, just go back to the beginning. I did the same thing with dance. I used to sell a robot necklace as my low ticket. And then my next thing was a beginner tutorial for $25. And then I sold a bundle for $80, right? So this applies to any business, every business, any niche, any personal brand, any genre of content. This applies, gamer, whatever. So when they make this leap, again, kid you not, to sell the $500 to the person who's done the $97 is easier than trying to get the first person to spend $1. So the value ladder system, it's amazing. So you have to ask, what could you create that someone would be willing, dying, like could not wait, just waiting for you to create this, where they would say, here's $500, happy to do it. What's that for you? What is that? Is that now a super intense course you're making as well, like mine? If your niche is around something that is based on helping people, like fitness trainers, gym, food, nutrition. Maybe you teach like health, or maybe you teach something mental health, meditation. Our businesses are very like info businesses. Maybe it's not. Maybe you make stuff, right? So maybe you're making something that's like more one of a kind, or premium, or maybe there's only a limited amount, or maybe it's handmade literally by you, whatever this is. I just thought of an idea too. I've seen people do this for the $100. I've seen some influencers create content. That's a personalized video for $100. I don't know if that's worth your time, but if it is, it's another idea. Maybe this is the same thing. A personalized something from you worth $500. And then we got our next steps here. And I'm going to split this into two different routes. And I'm going to call this the business, B2B. I'm going to call this B2C. And again, all the numbers can be changed around here. I'm just doing what I've done and the structure that I would recommend for you. But feel free to play around and test, right? You always want to be trying to improve and test. So here's where things change. I want you to ask the next question, which would be, I'm going to make a significant jump here because I'm running out of paper. But what would it be worth for someone to spend $2,000 on you? And what about, no kidding, $10,000? You got to think it. there's a saying out there on the internet that says, in business, if you don't offer it, no one will buy it. That's a guaranteed way that you will never sell it if you never offer it. $10,000, that's a lot. What would someone have to give? Like, are you flying out to meet them in person for $10,000? Are you doing a little retreat, maybe an event? Someone pays $10,000 and now that it's like this mastermind you've created. For $10,000, maybe you go, if you're making, candles, maybe you go and I don't know if you've created a candle cult and you got this secret proprietary process. For $10,000, you'll actually go to their place and teach them and make the same setup that you do. If you're a gamer, maybe this is like you go and you rent out and do like an old school LAN party and you host a tournament, $10,000, and you're on the team or something. I don't know. I'm really throwing stuff out there. I'm running out of ideas, but this is what you need to ask yourself because I can't answer that for you. What would be worth $2,000 and what would be worth $10,000? Now I'll tell you, again, being transparent about my business, I have like the most intense, I'll call this advanced, and then I have super intense, like video, like they're like 30 to 50 videos. It takes like a month to get through, and it on these side hustles, like intense drop shipping, affiliate marketing, Amazon, literally like so many different things. Like how to build an agency, because I have a multi-million-dollar agency, staff of 15 people. So $1,000, and I do have 2,000. And again, this is B2C. Sorry, just to be sure, B2C. I've talked about B2C, and that means business to consumer or brand to consumer. So these examples were someone individually, why would they give you $10,000? What could you create that's worth that much? And then in the same answer, my business to consumer, my brand to consumer is I have $1,000 courses. For $2,000, I have one-on-one coaching I do every single month. Not a lot of people do it. An individual to pay me $2,000 every single month for one-on-one coaching. And now I want to talk about B2B. So definitely one way, a very, I think, difficult way to land, but a super dope way regardless is, your brand is collecting an audience. And on top of monetizing your specific audience in your way, which by far is if you had to focus on one thing, you could just disregard B2B and only focus on B2C, because your audience and your tribe is how you can make the most money, definitely. But B2B, so this is a brand who makes products or services for the audience that you've created. There's the match in their demographics and what they sell, and it's exactly who the audience you've captivated is there's so many opportunities where businesses will pay you to either do a brand endorsement, product review, unboxing, or like pay you to actually star in a commercial. I've done this before. And so you actually also want to think about B2B. Now, when you go to business, your price goes whoop through the roof, because an individual to pay you $10,000, there's not going to be a lot of those. But a business to pay you $10,000 to star or to make a commercial or video series, there's plenty. And you're worth the money because you have built a fan base of people who trust you. And so it's a scary thing, but it's an awesome thing too, that you don't ever want to sell yourself out, sell your brand out. But $10,000, a business is going to pay you to say, hey, like talk about our backpack, our makeup, talk about our video game controller, whatever. And you just got to always ask yourself make sure you never cross that line of integrity. But hell yeah, I'll talk about a video game controller, for 10 grand. So when I was doing my dance stuff before I turned my content all businessy, I did a commercial for Walmart on behalf of a company called the Lumask. And it was like an acne face mask. I grew up with really bad acne. Awesome product. You like literally put it on, you look like a robot. They paid me $5,000 to do that video. I shot it in a weekend. I hired a videographer because I wanted to make it look nice because it was actually on Walmart's official YouTube channel. I paid the videographer like $500. He made me a video, so a profit of $4,500 to get this, and it took me like a day. That was freaking awesome. I would do that in a heartbeat. But just, I want you to think about the numbers of what you'd be willing to do for a product endorsement, unboxing, straight up shout out or like a commercial. What it would be like to fly you out there to their business and do reviews or whatever. You got to think about those numbers, because if you're growing, and I know you will, you're going to be successful. These things are going to happen. So it's better to think about this now. And even if you literally or you've taken this course and you're an aspiring influencer, and you want to build a brand, and you literally have 0 followers. This exercise, you should still think and imagine and plan and have the vision to think, what could your value ladder be? That's the one thing I wish, if I could go back in time knowing what I know now, it would be this concept. I wish I could take this, roll it up, put it in my pocket, go in the time machine, go back and be like, I know my value ladder from day one. Like, I would have been able to be full-time influencer literally within a year, I bet. Knowing what I know now, this concept, the value ladder. So, in recap, you have to think about a low ticket offer. The point is not to make a profit, but to bring new customers in, to make the leap from a viewer, a loyal subscriber, to a customer. Again, that specific action is taking out their wallet or PayPal or Venmo and paying you for something. Once they're in, now you have to really just ask questions. What can I create a value that person would pay me $100 for? And it's heck of a deal. What would that be for $500? What could I create for $2,000? What could I create for $10,000? That would be worth the money. That's your homework. Well, that's the secret sauce. Now, once you master this, I give you much warning that it can make your wildest dreams come true, whether that's to live in a mansion or to live in a van, which I'm currently parked outside the beach. Let me just quickly pull this around here. Not a bad view for a backyard, huh? Every one of my businesses has the value ladder concept. I don't build a business or even think about business without thinking of the value ladder concept at all. First, what's my entry level point? And how do I move up to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing? And how do I consistently deliver value to my customers to make them move up the ladder? It's all about the ladder. You gotta climb the ladder. Not the corporate ladder, the value ladder system, which your customer feels like they're getting awesome deals all the time and you are being rewarded for that. This concept applies to literally every single style of business model. So all the ones you've learned in this course, plus others that I didn't talk about, this is the strategy. If you were gonna take away a big homework assignment from today, it would be whatever idea has been floating around your head, to put this on paper, literally make a ladder and think, okay, how is my business gonna go from here to here? And what are all the points of value that I can deliver to my customer? If you're doing drop shipping, maybe it starts with a free plus shipping offer and you're targeting the van life niche, and then you come up with a guide, which gets them here. Then you come up with maybe a backpack, then you come up with essential kit, a subscription van box, whatever it is. That is an entire game for you to basically map out. And it's such an important exercise, because when you start thinking of, I'm in the business of collecting customers and keeping them forever, that's the mindset that is going to take your business, your mini side hustle, to a main hustle, into 7-figure business and beyond. The problem with a lot of scrappier side hustles is they only care about the first sale, when you should treat your customers like your VIPs. Your most important people in your life, besides mom, dad, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife. Second to them, these are the most important people to your life, your customers. You gotta always treat them value, always deliver great customer service, and if you do that correctly and constantly create good offers, they'll love to be a customer of yours for ever. I put some hard work into this video, and it would mean the world to me if you were to snap that like button and also drop a comment on what you think of the value ladder system. Otherwise, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Make sure you get the complimentary resources that come with this free 30-day course. Go to adrianbrambila.com/30 days. We are coming in on our last week here on this course. Get ready, more technical, more step-by-step instructions on some of the advanced stuff is coming. Otherwise, thank you again so much for watching. This is Adrian Brambila. Adios. When I started my very first side hustle, I was working at a call center making $27,000 a year. If I could pinpoint how I got from then to now, it would definitely be by the power of habit. It's one of the hardest things to create, but once you have it, you feel unstoppable. To help you build it, I've created the Side Hustle Journal, which is a daily journal that will help hold you accountable to working on your side hustle and creating an amazing business and life that you love. Go to adrianbrambila.com/journal to check it out today.